Well, Thursday night we're back once again. Um, Ready to go. Ready for Friday.
Ready
Ready
to
for the
go.
weekend. Ready for the damn rain to stop. I don't know about you guys. It has followed me through New England and back. Thought I escaped it, and it followed me back to Pennsylvania. It
You
has
It
you
been
know
raining
it
when we
nonstop.
teased it,
asked for
it
when
teased
we
us here. They kept talking. It's going to be an
yeah
impact day, and it never. We had like a every 5 hours we get like a drop. So
Oh
I'm
my
yeah
sorry.
gosh!
Sorry you
you
have
know
to deal with
when we asked for souvenirs, this is not what we wanted, Nate.
it.
I'm telling you. Listen,
You
we
suck.
and we knew. Oh man, listen, like we knew the weather was gonna be rough. We were like, okay, we'll probably get, maybe like an afternoon here or whatever there. And I was gonna take the bike up. I was actually gonna try and string together and ride the whole Cape, a little bit each day or whatever. And we were gonna do this and do that. Yeah, we ended up doing. I mean, we put rain gear on. We walked around and stuff. We did a lot of touristy stuff, and we definitely visited some pubs and things like that. Because wasn't much else you could do when it's 42 and it's blowing sideways. So
Yeah.
places like Truro Vineyards and stuff were kind of fun when you're stuck there for 3 hours. You know what I mean? Did some touristy stuff. Um, yeah, we had a good time. My highlight was we hopped over to the island for a little bit of a shortened day. Weather wasn't all that great either, and we were a little nervous about boats getting canceled. So we hopped over, kind of mushed around just a little, and Donna picked us up, and we spent some time with her, grabbed something to eat, and it was great to
So
see her. Stopped at the bookstore, and yeah,
I was gonna say, how was the fairy Jaws mother?
she's doing pretty well.
Good,
She's doing pretty
good.
well. She looked good. She was in good spirits. We had a couple good laughs, had a good time.
No.
Yeah, yeah. She, it was really good to see her, and yeah,
2%.
actually, she was the idea. She called me up and said, you know what? She said you should talk to so and so and so and so and so and so. Try and get him on the show. So we stopped at Edgartown Books, and I said that would be one stop, and got a couple other ideas too. So she was spot on. She had some good ideas going.
My book's still on the shelf.
All the books are on the shelf, and yes,
You
Making
Mike,
sure,
ready?
yours is still on there, buddy.
making sure I
You
wasn't like
betcha.
in the discount bin. So I'm always worried about when I go like to a store and they have like the big bin in the middle, $4 books. I always look and say, "Oh, I hope my book's not in here."
Hey, above all else, it's still in the zeitgeist, no matter where it ends up. It's still
Yeah,
all part of that picture. And you're the only one that's got one. I mean, you can't take away from that. Second of all, and it's done really well. I'm not telling you that, Mike, because I'm sitting here with you. I had a copy of your book before I really knew you too well. So, yeah, it's just done really well. Excellent
yeah.
book. So if you guys at home don't have Mike's book on Jaws 2, I'm going to plug it anyway. Go out and grab it. And if you're not sure where it is, somebody drop a line on one of the sites. We'll get a link
Oh,
for you.
we'll
Excellent,
we'll we'll definitely guide you to where you need to go for sure.
excellent book. There it is. That's right. Yeah,
There it is.
check it out. That's right. Yeah. All right. We got a couple people on here. We got good evening, Nate, Mike, and JJ. I would assume that's our good buddy Victor. Hello, Vic.
That's Victor.
We got Dave Harmon
Hey,
on. Thanks
Dave.
for coming on,
Oh
Dave.
yeah, that's my buddy. I'm trying to get him on there because he said he was going to be off today and he wanted to watch the show. So if I tagged him, he knows to get on the
Ah,
side. So
okay.
that was
We got
me.
is the Martha's Vineyard Theater still open? There's theaters open on the Vineyard, depending on what you're talking about. The Island, no. If you're talking like live theater, I know there's at least one on there. I know the one in Vineyard Haven.
Yeah, the Playhouse. They have the Playhouse, and
Mm-hmm.
then I think the theater in Edgartown. I
The
think
movie
that I
theater.
think
Yeah.
that's 25. That's not 24 hours, but I think that's open all year. I
It
think
is,
the
yeah.
other. Well, the Island Theater's closed.
That's been shut down for
Yeah,
quite a while.
I would love to. If I win Powerball Saturday, I'm buying that, and I'm buying all the buildings next to it. It's just going to be a big Jaws museum. You work your way through, and then you walk and you sit in the Island Theater and watch Jaws.
There
How
you
awesome would
go.
that be, though? I mean, seriously, that would be. And um, the shirt shop that's like one or two stores up is Here I go with names again. What's his brother?
Todd Mello. Is it Mellows or Rebellos? They both have
Rebello.
Rebello. It's Todd Rebello's.
Yeah, Todd Rebello, and I think the Mellows also have a t-shirt shop.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've only been to Todd.
Yeah. So.
But how fitting would that be? Because you walk in and it still has the banner and stuff from Jaws Fest and everything, and original cards in the back, and that'd be incredible. Incredible. What we got? Mike is a Jaws guru. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Cannot argue that. And it says, reading it now. Evening all. Hello. Good evening. And someone says, reading now. Love it. Yeah. Great book. If you don't have it, get your hands on it. Really. Yeah. All right.
Can I intervene here?
Absolutely. Hop in.
Well, so we were going to pay tribute, and Mike had brought it up to you and myself, but I kind of wanted to start it off with this way. It's John's birthday, Mike. Today's his birthday.
Oh.
Can we give him a shout out?
My ex-husband
/ friend / Juanita's boyfriend / the donut guru. Today's his birthday day. So
I'm telling you, he's a lost Kennedy.
Yes, he does. He does. He still says that. But
when I met him, I thought it was RFK Jr. Seriously.
With the dark hair.
Like, you don't have the accent, but God.
No, he doesn't have the
Kennedy on the Vineyard. I mean, it fits. It fits.
But, yeah, he did. He looked like a Kennedy. And Juanita and I went to Backyard Donuts, got a donut, came back, and all we heard was, "Are you sure you're not a Kennedy?
You sure
Are you sure? I was born in Missouri."
They get around. They get around. Kennedys get around in New England. You never know.
But because of me, he has made lots of friends on the island, including Donna and you and Juanita, and I thought it would be in honor of him today.
Yes, well, happy birthday.
Absolutely.
Hope you're feeling better, too, from your recent mishap.
He is he's in physical therapy right now, so he's trying to get that sorted out. But yeah, I usually send him, once Nate puts it on YouTube, I send him the show so he can watch it.
Very
cool.
Right. Yeah. And so along comes with birthdays comes some sadness. And we wanted to pay tribute to a Jaws connection, Oscar winner. There he is. Lou Gossett Jr. passed away this past week. One of the very first, was he the best supporting actor? Very first African American.
First African American best supporting actor. Yeah, third African American to win an Oscar. And so with him and Calvin Bouchard, we always liked him. Playing. He had some great lines there. He was just funny to me in that movie. But here recently, he was in Roots, An Officer and a Gentleman. He was just recently, he's done a couple of Tyler Perry movies, and he just recently was in The Color Purple with Fantasia. So see, that'll make me want to watch it now. Because I love the original movie. I didn't like the musical, but I'll watch it and just fast forward because he's Mr. Right? Not Mr. He
plays Mr.'s father. Yeah, he plays.
Okay.
Yeah. When we saw it,
well,
and he still had that gruff, not like Adolf Caesar, but he held his own. So yeah.
Yeah, he had that commanding demeanor to him. Like a facial feature could let you know where you stood, with him. He really did. And he was a man that didn't go like elaborate when it came to talking. But he was incredibly to the point and brought it across very easily. You know what I mean? Didn't sell it short one bit. Yes. And I have to say, guilty teenage pleasure or young teen pleasure for me was Iron Eagle.
Yep, Iron Eagle.
Oh,
Iron Eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was all about that for quite a while. That was like an 8-year runner.
He was on the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I saw him in was Roots. He won an Emmy for Roots. I think he was Fiddler.
Really good one. The Deep.
Yeah.
He was good in that too.
That's right.
Yes, he was close.
Right.
Cloche in the deep. He was
Yes, he was.
he was like Calvin Bouchard's like nasty uncle or something in the deep. Oh yeah, he was.
He was local gangster.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
So 2 connections to Peter Benchley. Then look at that. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, Officer and a Gentleman. I met him in the late '80s. He was at a Vietnam veterans concert, and anytime I cover events, I go prepared. So I had a great picture of him from Officer and a Gentleman. I didn't have anything from Jaws 3. Officer and Gentleman that he signed. He was very nice, but he just had that great demeanor and a great voice.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah. Legendary.
I remember him with Dennis Quaid. Not only did they do Jaws 3, but they also did Enemy Mine. Remember
Enemy
that?
Mine.
The alien?
Yes.
So
Another
good.
good one. Yeah.
He was so good in that.
Really was.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way he vocalized that character, he almost developed his own. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now,
Always loved the ending of that movie.
anytime I make one eat a sandwich, I always say, "You want some mayonnaise?"
Oh my goodness.
We got here. Introduce an Officer and Gentleman, Sci-Fi 11, Enemy Mine, but Iron Eagle was one of my favorites. Yep, yes, sir. You hit it, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was his name Chappie? Who was Chappie? Was he Chappie in Iron Eagle?
He was Chappie in Iron Eagle.
It just jumped into my head. I'm like, is it Chappie?
Wow, that was Chappie. You're right. Wow, how you made that connection? I have no idea, Mike.
Wow, that's all that algebra. It's the algebra I had to learn because one day I'll use it. I never have being pushed out by a random fact. Yeah.
Okay, so it was used at 6-4. No, you missed it, dude.
Mind powers, son. Remember that movie clip? It's a major award. Mind power.
It's mind power.
So,
Oh, gosh.
well, since we got things kind of rolling here, we have one or two other I shouldn't say small things, one or two other things we are going to hit on and talk about. But our big idea for the night is to do a little bit of a virtual tour of Martha's Vineyard. For those of you that maybe have been there or haven't been there, you guys are a lot of people talking about going away for the 50th. So give you a little actual virtual tour to actually show you the island and some spots on the island and maybe some information to kind of help you out if you do decide to go or when you go. And if you do, if you ever have any questions, feel free to shoot them up to the page. You got a lot of people that have been there. Everyone here you're talking to has been there quite a few times and fairly experienced. And there are some really little ins and outs and learning curves you have to learn if you haven't been there yet. So we thought we'd maybe hopefully hit on that a little bit tonight for you guys.
I'll be back in a minute.
So, no problem.
Victor said it looks so much like the lead singer of Hot Chocolate.
Oh, man.
Winner, baby, that's the truth. Yeah. You're right. Now that I think, I have to go downstairs and
Toy
get my
Soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're taking a deep dive on him here. You know, I forgot about the
Toy Soldiers.
Yeah. I haven't seen
the principal, Jim Belushi.
Oh, yeah. 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 And again, I mean, he had a lot of conviction, hard edge to him, you know? Didn't take much for him to sell where he stood, you stood. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Yeah. Got some aficionados here with him. So we're also going to hit on a little bit on the Jaws lottery, but I think we might be waiting for someone. So, Mikey, you think we should hold off on that for just a little bit?
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll do that. We'll hold off on that just a little bit, and I'm going to pull this guy out. And so, yeah, even put a little background up, a little virtual picture of the island of Martha's Vineyard. And Mike, when was your first time that you made a trip there?
2005 Jaws Fest.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer there. I didn't get there until 2016. I think was 2016 was my first trip, and just completely did it on a whim. We were doing New England and said, "Hey, how cool would it be to hop over there?" You know, you always hear how bits and pieces have not changed in, you know, at the time 30 some years or 40 years, and you know what? That's really spot on. We're gonna check some of that out tonight.
Oh yeah, it was like, I don't know. I always say if you're a Star Trek fan, it's like you got to walk onto the Enterprise because pretty much everything is the same, and
it really is.
It's beautiful. I mean, Jaws notwithstanding, it's a great place to go, and everybody's friendly, and it's a beautiful place. So walk on the water, and yeah,
it really is. We first went because of myself and my love for Jaws, and the next time we decided to go on a trip, the whole family agreed we were going back to Martha's Vineyard, not because of Jaws, not that I didn't use that as lubrication to get us back up there and get those wheels turning, but it truly is. The island itself is amazing. The people, I always say, are amazing. They really are. It's just great. It takes you back in time. There's no McDonald's. There's no Holiday Inns. There's no Walmarts. I mean, it's local. It really, and it's just, I don't know. It's a different demeanor. It's a breath of fresh air. It really is. You're just on a different level, relaxation wise. At least I am. When I visit the island, and just we were just there for half a day or whatever, and same thing. As soon as you step off on the boat, I mean, it was just awesome. It really was. Just felt good. Felt like you were back to like some place you lived when you were a kid or something. It brings back kind of those memories, good feelings, and yeah, awesome stuff. So we got one or two comments here. I'm just going to kick in, and we're going to start our virtual thing we saw. I saw the Amity diorama, by the way, really cool. Yeah, I did see that. Somebody posted up a diorama they had built of Amity Island, and absolutely stunning. Whoever did the work or commissioned work, pretty amazing eye for detail. Yeah. 2 days and back to Boston. Yeah. So people are talking about doing some trips, and we got for info on Martha's Vineyard, mvy.com has a travel guide. That's probably Donna saying that. It is a really good website for you guys to check out because they will hit a little bit of everything from accommodations, places to stay and things to how to get there and back. Yeah, very good website. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, enough of hearing me yak. How about
Donna, they're looking for a new director of the chamber. You should apply.
There you go.
I applied, but you have to live on the island. I said, well, give me the job and I'll move to the island.
Okay, well, here we go, guys. So thought we'd get a little interactive swing here, what we have going on, and I'm going to attempt to do a live walkthrough on Google Earth with you guys. So, and I'm not going to go in order of how things happen in the film, because if you do know anything about the island, you're also going to know that it really jumps all around different parts of the island. So I'm going to go literally starting more or less in the northeastern part, and we're just going to work clockwise around the island. If that makes sense.
It does.
Right? And so the very first part I'm going to start, and I'm not even sure if that's considered Still Oak Bluffs or if that's part of Vineyard Haven. No, you're good. We're going to start at 267 East Chop Drive, which East Chop Drive.
I think I know the people who live there.
Might know. So
would that be Mr. and Mrs. or Chief Brody and the Mrs.?
That's exactly what we're talking. We are talking about the Brody residence, and you might look at this and say it doesn't quite look like it does in the movie. That's because after the movie, it pretty much tore the top of the house off and did a rebuild. But if you look, you can still see some definite resemblance. And where we would stay, I would often get up and do morning runs up through there because East Chop, a good chunk of it is blocked off from cars, so the road's just open to walk. And when you walk past it, there's no mistake with it. So what you're looking at here, you can kind of make out the front. The roof line has changed. If you look over to the right, you can see the garage, and you can see a stone wall kind of about where that white fence was. And that garage, even the cutout here, and the roof line is exactly the same that it was. They've changed it. It looks like a little carriage house now, or like a little guest house. Now, if you step back a little bit, or if you look just out in front of that Jeep, you're going to notice that little enclosed porch that we see in the movie and that they're sitting in when they're making all the phone calls. Now, if I back us up just a little, you're going to, let me get us back just a little more. You're going to see the edges of the dock. I wonder if I can zoom in on that for you
Oh, is that the famous? Did you hear your father?
Get out of that
Sure.
boat.
Get out of the water now! Now!
So you can just see along the edges of the bushes out in the left and right in the middle some of the docks there. I couldn't really get any higher up in the air and with the time of year, but that is the Brody residence. If I take us past the house the other way, perhaps we can get a little sneak through in between the house. I always think about when you see Mike come out and decides he's going to go down to the water. He grabs his stuff and he looks down the water. There you go, right between the garage and the house, and you can envision Brody's truck being in the driveway.
Is this shadow here on the bottom? Is that the Google car, or is that Johnny Five from Short Circuit?
Well, that's definitely the Google car. And you know what's ironic, Mike, is I didn't realize they didn't use all Google images. They must have commissioned or got images from individuals and got the rights to them, because some of them, as I'm kind of going around like this, all of a sudden you see a guy like this with his camera, like he was holding his phone and taking a picture of it. It looks great. So, yeah, very good stuff. All right. So that's our first stop. So we're up in either the very edge of Vineyard Haven or the very tip of Oak Bluffs. And we'll go back to the main street.
Listen, it's not Johnny Five until he says laser lips. I'm not convinced, Mike. Your mother was a snowblower.
No disassemble, no disassemble.
So there we go. So we're going to go off to our next stop. So if you're working your way and you're at about 1 o'clock, we're literally going to come clockwise around the clock, going down the map to our next stop. And we've got quite a few, so you can see us kind of jumping around there. And I had to pull this out because this is a pretty big kind of point of the movie. And this is when you see the ferry coming in. You see the officer, whoever it is, with the whistle directing the traffic. You see people heading up Circuit Avenue, and you see the big picture of the Tiger Shark.
No.
What do you mean
No. That's not an officer that whistles. That's Keith. That's in there.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's not.
When we remake the film, that's Keith.
Poor guy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And so we are on Seaview Avenue, and you can see the office here. The offices, the boats come in right next to it. And if you, as I kind of scroll here, you're starting to kind of make your way up. And that building right there, pretty important building. It happens to be the Oak Bluffs Police Department, and Mr. Jonathan Searle from the movie happens to be the big guy there.
Yes, he is.
And that takes you right up through Circuit Avenue, which is the big drag, all the shops and stores, and that's where Mike's going to buy a movie theater restored.
Right? Yeah.
Right. Can't wait.
Now the carousel is behind that, is it not? On the other side of this building. So
yeah,
the
it's at the bottom of Circuit.
Yeah, the oldest carousel in the United States is right behind this building, and you can still go on this carousel and ride it, and still get the golden ring for a prize.
It just opened up for the year, actually. Yeah.
But so it should be ready to go for the summer.
Yeah. We got a couple more people chiming in. James Scott's joining us tonight. Hi, James. Good to hear from you. We got a hi, Antonio. So I guess Antonio's joining us tonight as well.
So Antonio came in. Michael Massey popped on.
Yay!
Robert is on. Good to hear from Robert as well. So he's on Easter break. Yeah. And question, is Martha's Vineyard as busy as in the movie? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yes. I've never been there in peak season, which is from July 4th on through August. I've always been there in June. And June, there's people there. It's very manageable. It's not that big of a deal. I was just there for a day. This is considered the shoulder, the off season. It's quiet. It's really quiet. Very enjoyable, but really quiet. But yeah, it does get hit. I want to say, I'm sure Donna could chime in. I think population year round is somewhere like around 15, 17,000. In the summertime, it balloons to like 150,000. Pretty crazy for like 100 100-mile square or 100-square-mile island. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, yeah. All right.
John and I got married in September, and it wasn't as heavy as far as people goes.
Yeah.
So, but it's still just still a lot of people there. Labor Day and all that. 'Cause that's when we really that's when we went. But there's always something to do, people to see, people to talk with. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Someone's asking, what part of Martha's Vineyard is this? This is in Oak Bluffs. You're down around Circuit City, like big commercial area, a lot of stores, a lot of shops, and beautiful view. Seaview Avenue, literally you have the avenue, you have the ocean, and then you have things like Ocean Park, you have the cottages, and it takes you square down past a couple of sites we're going to be seeing into Edgartown. Yeah, we're up through East Shop, out to Vineyard Haven. All right. Stop number 3. Going to take us down a little further down Seaview Avenue, and we have to make a stop here. Have to make a stop here. Pretty popular place. Goes by 2 names. 2 names. Officially, I believe it's the Veterans Bridge or Veterans Memorial Bridge, but
Veterans Memorial, I believe, yes.
Or American Legion.
Those. American something like that, yeah.
But even on Google Maps, it comes up Jaws Bridge. There you go, guys.
Really?
Yeah, it comes up Jaws Bridge.
That's hilarious.
This is the bridge, and it has been rebuilt. It was rebuilt, I think, in the 90s. But when you go up again, you know it's the Jaws Bridge. But little heads up, there's 2 bridges. There's a little bridge, and the water is much shallower and much narrower. And then there's the Jaws Bridge, which is the second bridge. And the big thing to do here is to go out and jump off the Jaws Bridge. If you decide to go and do that, first thing, make sure you go to the Jaws Bridge and not the little bridge. Okay? Yeah, there would be a quick drop. And if you do go, I'm not going to say don't do it. Be safe. Pick a nice deep spot of water. Make sure no one's going to be jumping on you. And you'll be able to pick it out in summertime because there is always a crowd of people there.
Oh, yeah.
Going off of that bridge. Yeah.
Yep.
Make sure people want you when you jump.
Yep. And while we're sitting at the Jaws Bridge, unfortunately I cannot take us over there, but if we were to walk right down the very famous jetty of rocks that Brody runs up, when you see him run up the rocks, down here, the beach down here, that happens to be the beach scene from Alex Kintner. That's where that was all.
Yep.
Yeah. Someone's chiming in. No jumping off the bridge.
Right.
I'm not going to incriminate myself. Well, yeah, I've jumped off quite a few times.
Better to ask for forgiveness and
permission.
This is true. And as you look, obviously, we have Oceanside. As you go up on the other side of the bridge, there you're in what they refer to in the movie as a pond. That's the little lagoon there, little pond there.
Oh, ponds for old ladies.
That's right. Shark is in the pond. All right. So that is stop number 2. So again, we're just coming down the east coast of the island. So let's see what's coming on next. Just a little bit further down, and I mean just a little bit further down, maybe quarter mile, half a mile down. Doesn't look like much. You guys know what this is?
I would say that would be the 4th of July beach scene or the beach scene. No?
You're close. This is where it's named after what the road does when you go down there. It's a big straightaway, and all of a sudden it takes like a hard bend.
Yeah.
It's called Bend in the Road. It's the only place you can double park cars on that stretch.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. And the Bend in the Road, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, someone correct me, that's where the Chrissy scene was shot, Day for Night. The actual scene when she was in the water. I'm pretty sure of that, pretty certain of that. They actually shot that there. They did not shoot her running down the beach, when you first see her, but when she was in the water and getting yanked back and forth, getting attacked by the shark. I'm fairly certain that's where this was shot.
Oh, okay. I'm bouncing back and forth between the 2 pages to see what everybody's saying. We got a good crowd tonight.
Yeah,
we do. We got a great crowd tonight.
Yeah.
And you guys that are listening or not, everything gets uploaded to YouTube, to a YouTube channel. If you ever want to go back and see any Mayor Vaughn Productions, just hop on there, subscribe. They're all there. I just started cataloging them just to have them, but please go on and check them out. So
Yeah.
all right. So let's see, where are we heading now next? Down the coast.
Oh no, where are we going now, Dad? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
So we are headed into town, and we're standing at a pretty familiar corner. You guys
Yes,
can tackle these. You probably know more about these than I do. All right. Somebody want to jump in on this one? That building across the street there.
That is the bank, I believe.
That's the bank.
Amity Bank.
Yeah, yep.
So
That is the bank across the street from the
They
famous.
they still have the bank sign inside the bank.
Yeah.
At the first Jaws Fest at 2005, they had it out on the building.
Yeah.
Oh, did they hang it again? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, they
nice.
hung it again. Yeah.
And the hardware store had Amity Hardware, the ice cream parlor. They all had their signs out. And in 2012, they didn't. So
No. But the banner that said "Welcome to the Amity 4th of July," that was inside the hardware store.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, into that, because I think I have a picture of it somewhere hidden somewhere. But that was inside the hardware store that's directly across the street from the bank there. And
Yeah.
that's
So as
where, I love that store right there. I love that little store.
That little corner
I go in there a lot.
got everything in there, everything you need.
They do. I go in there a lot.
And someone's chiming in here, Mike. Someone remembers your picture. That crosswalk is as famous as Abbey Road.
Abbey.
or Amity Road, as I called it. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone says, I was there, hardware store. Yes, but the interior shots of the hardware store were not shot in that building. They were shot right up the street, it's a restaurant called Port Hunter. And that's where the interior shots were actually filmed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I got to make sure I'm on my P's and Q's tonight, because if not, we got a couple people who know the island. I know, so it's going to be setting me straight. So, hey, she knows. She knows. That's right. All right. Okay. So, and also, I don't know. Do you guys remember the movie where the crosswalks painted green? I'm trying to think when the truck pulls up. I think he pulls up, and I think you see that there, don't you?
I want to say yes, if I can vaguely remember, but I believe yes.
When the band marches by, I believe so.
Yeah, I believe, yeah.
And we're in downtown Edgartown. We're going to be walking all around downtown Edgartown. And you know what you're seeing here are actual shots. I mean, it changes very little. When you walk around Edgartown, you literally think you are walking through the movie. You really do. In fact, you're going to see little things we're going to point out, because it is very easy to pick out.
I actually told somebody the other day, I said, when you go to Martha's Vineyard, you're going to feel like you're on that film set, because it doesn't change. It's exactly the same as it is. It may be updated, but you are going to have that same feel in live and in person when you're on that island, as if you watched the movie for the first time or a fan. So when you go, you get the whole effect.
True. Yeah. All right, so we're going to walk around the town of Edgartown here. Not going very far. As a matter of fact, we literally just turned around and faced the other direction.
Yeah.
And you're looking up a street, and you see quite a few little introduction scenes of people. So as you look up the street on the left-hand side here, that was a real estate company owned by none other than Mr. Mayor Vaughn. That's where he comes walking out the door. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. And is it the next door or two up? Isn't that where you see Carl coming out of?
That's the newspaper. Yeah. Or that was the newspaper.
Yeah, that was the newspaper. Yeah. Yeah, and so that's the street that you happen to see Brody walking down, and everyone starts following him down through there. Yeah. And again, you're literally steps away from where you are. In fact, you're literally looking at the side of the bank there on the right side there, that red building. So, yeah. Good. Somebody popping in here. We went 2018. It was thrilling, especially at the ferry dock near Arville Bay. Yeah. Yeah. Great place. I'm telling you, great place to visit. It really is. All right. Okay. Where are we going next here? In the town of Edgartown. We're going to head up that street. And I stopped here, part of this was selfish. I stopped here because great little local bike shop by the name of Wheel Happy Bikes is there. I love that. The owner's a great guy. Go in and talk to. He's a big craft beer lover, so I go in there. We talk about local beers and stuff like that. But it's kind of ironic because sitting in between, and I'm not sure. I want to say it's right here. This opening here is where Kiesel's bike shop was in the movie.
Mm.
I want to say it was between those two buildings. I'm pretty certain it was those two. Could be maybe the one next to it. But it was where the front was for his bike shop when he came out with the wheel, with the spokes torn up in the wheel.
Those damn kids.
That's where that was. Yeah. Damn kids. Kicking balls and fences. Yeah. So, Kiesel's bike shop, and we're going to head just a little bit further uptown. And picture didn't come out that clear here, but I want everyone to really pay attention to something that really stands out in this picture. And that is, if you look at the sidewalk where the fire hydrant is, you're going to notice some stairs, and there is a little fence that goes up over the stairs and down the other side. Very distinctive. And you watch Brody, he literally walked right down the street. In fact, I believe he came out of the police office here, didn't he?
Walked up, zipped up his jacket. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep. Had his little hop as he was, I believe, walking down through there.
Had a bounce in his step.
All right. And again, still in Edgartown, just a couple blocks away. Now we're down at the famous Chappie Ferry. And this is where you see everyone, including the Cadillac, Mayor Vaughn's Cadillac, on the ferry, trying to decide if they're going to amend the death certificate for Chrissy to a boating accident. Yeah. Yeah.
This was my mom's favorite spot when we went in 2017. We did a trip, rented a house in Oaks Bluff, and two teenage girls, which they slept in the loft. That way they couldn't escape. But anyway, they slept in the loft. Mom and John and I stayed. But this was her favorite spot to look at because she could see Edgartown in the back and all the beautiful boats in the front when we sat there. And she says that she'll remember that forever. It's a beautiful spot. And you can go on top of that building.
Yes. Yep. They just finished it. I think Donna told me they raised it.
Oh, did they?
Oh, wow. And they raised it up. And I said, wow. I said, were the pylons sinking? And she said they raised, I think that place and the yacht club and something else. She said, no, the water levels are rising. So I assume from global.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Really interesting. Oh. And it's a little hard to see, but way off in the distance, over here on the other side, that's the Chappie Swim Club. And those cabanas were the inspiration for the cabanas on the Alice Kinder Beach scene. Yeah.
Do you remember, Mike, when we were there in 2012, when if anybody ever went on the Chappie Ferry, they would have scenes on the actual ferries of the car. There would be different Jaws scenes that they had placed on that were taken on that ferry. So fans could see that, yeah, this is it. This is the same one. This is what it looked like. And it was kind of thrilling because people were so excited to see that. It's like you're on a movie set, like I said before. They that I liked. So
it really is.
That leading to Chappaquiddick, yes.
That is, yep, that's the ferry. 500 some feet to Chappaquiddick Island. That's right.
That's the Chappie Ferry.
Yeah. Cool place. If you ever get a chance to go over and visit Chappie, you can just walk on. We would go over. I take the bikes over and go for rides, go to like the My Toy Gardens and stuff. I want to go all the way up to the lighthouse, but it's such a hike. I haven't gotten there yet.
Is it really?
You're talking miles, like 7 miles or something each way, and you can drive it if you are permitted, and you have to drop the air pressure. When you pull up the My Toy Gardens, they have air compressors there. You got to drop your tire pressure down like 15, 20 pounds to get through the sand. And here's the thing: if you're going like 7 miles each way, and and you haven't driven in sand like me, even though I drive a 4-wheel drive truck, I'm not taking that bet that I'm not going to get that damn thing stuck 5 miles up
absolutely.
outside of
Yeah.
Chappaquiddick. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
That sounds like a long wait for a tow truck, you know? So, but you can actually pay and get tickets, and people will take you out there. Maybe Don will chime in on that as to who does it. I thought the Harbor View did it at one time, but maybe someone at the Chamber of Commerce does it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to have an Uber to take me out to Chappie, please. Okay.
And if you go, that's where Pippin's buried.
Yes, our sweet pup. Yes.
That was going to be my question. I was going to pop that question. That's right.
Oh,
yeah, that's where Pippin's
right.
from. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Pippet, not Peppet. Pippet.
Oh gosh.
Or Pippin. I did.
Or Pippet. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I did the cover story for the Horror Hound, the Jaws thing, and
Yes.
I got it. I was so excited, and I read it, and it says Pippin, and I snapped. I called Nathan. I said, "What's?" He goes, "Oh, I guess our autocorrect corrected it." I said, "Well, yeah, you corrected it wrong. You know, I'm supposed to be a quote unquote Jaws expert, and I can't even get the name of the dog right." So, yeah.
No, you did. They didn't.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They didn't.
I had like 1 or 2 people, in the last 10 years or however long it's been, actually say something. You got the name of the dog wrong. No, I got it right.
Yeah.
Their computer.
Damn autocorrect.
All right. So moving on to our next scene, since we're talking about Chappaquiddick, we are going to work our way out. Now, I could not get, because this is such a remote area, and again, there's no paved roads there, I couldn't actually get a full-on scene of exactly where I wanted to take us. Instead, unfortunately, you're looking down at an outhouse. Sorry, wasn't in the movie. This is what they give me. So, what you are standing on, though, is you're standing at the top of the lighthouse there in Chappaquiddick. I know, right? An outhouse. You got to be kidding me, right? But the reason why I wanted to show a picture of this lighthouse, because if you guys remember the very last scene, the ending, when Brody and Hooper are coming in and they're standing up out of the water, getting off of the barrels, they're coming in, and you can see this lighthouse, that whole stretch of land right there, along with who was it? The 2 chimneys that were there from the 2 buildings that existed out there. I think there's only one left there, but yeah.
Isn't it called the Pogue Lighthouse? P-O-G-U-E. There it is.
Pogue, yeah.
Lighthouse. There it is.
Yeah. I think that's Donna chiming in. Yeah. Trustees of the Reservation, Mainland and the Gardens, Cape Pogue Lighthouse. Yeah.
So who's that in the picture?
That's one of those pictures that they must have commissioned from someone who was there. Yeah. Said, hey, either they lifted it, or someone said, hey,
you're out the house.
I just saw the leg. I was like, is that where they kept Ted Grossman's leg in this lighthouse?
That was where the prop building was. That's what it was.
Oh my God. Someone's chiming in. Did you see the bridge where Ted Kennedy went over and killed a young woman? Yes. So if you go over to Chappie, you will go right up to the Dyke Bridge. You will. Yeah. It's also, if I'm not mistaken, it's the bridge that Brody drives over at the beginning of Jaws 2, right when the movie transitions from Martha's Vineyard to Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's there. You can go up to it. In fact, when you get past that, you got to get off the bikes and everything, and you basically got to walk. The sand gets real soft and real deep. Beautiful, though.
So what was the movie? There was a movie that came out a few years ago, Mike, and it talked about that incident.
Oh, Chappaquiddick.
Okay, that's it, right? And so was it Dr. Neville that played
Dr. Nevin.
Okay, Nevin. Okay, so what I find interesting is that if you watch that movie Chappaquiddick, that he was supposed to have been there that weekend when that accident happened, and he was out of town, and the deputy coroner had to do it. So
Mhm.
he would have been involved in that whole accident with Ted Kennedy.
And
But he was out of
technically,
town.
it was the water that killed Mary Jo Kopechne, not
Well,
Ted
that's
Kennedy.
true. Well, that's true, but it would have. So can you imagine if he was there that night, had to do it, and then wind up being an extra and acted in Jaws?
Yeah,
That would have been some movie history right there.
because I remember when I watched the movie and they mentioned
mentioned
Devin's
Nevin.
not here, and I'm like, oh, I know who that is.
Yes.
I know who they're talking about.
Yes.
Speaking of the Kennedys, John Kennedy Jr. Yes, he was. He was, because the first time when Juanita went to the island, we're on Cape Scare, and she hates to fly anyway, and we got separated, but our pilot was flying. He goes, "For those of you curious, this is the same route John Kennedy Jr. was on." And I'm like, well, "Okay, thanks." The plane's already, doing this, and you got to sit by weight, and you can't put your arm over on that side of the plane, sir. It's going to tip. Yeah, but yes.
And I can't take credit for this fact, but someone on the island, very well might have been Donna, told me that when he crashed his airplane, the next day, the parts of the wreckage and parts of the debris from the plane were washing up on the shores of his mother's estate there.
Yeah. That's what I heard
eerie.
too.
That's eerie to the 19th extent, umpteenth extent there. Yeah. Very cool. When I was in Hyannis, I did do the Kennedy. They have a Kennedy museum there, and they actually had opened up a top floor for John Kennedy Jr. Yeah, it was kind of neat, and it did kind of show and mention a little bit about the plane crash. But yeah, it's a shame. All right, well, let's take a stop. We've been hanging out at the lighthouse and the Job Johnny for a while, so let's go somewhere else here. It's probably starting to stink, right? Just like those places do in the summertime, right?
Yeah. That's the seaweed. Yeah.
So as we work our way from Chappaquiddick, we're now down around the southern part of the island. And this would be where the opening scene of the entire movie was shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right where the fire and the beach scene, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Was taken at. Yeah, this would be Katama, if I'm saying that correctly, and that would be along South Beach, which they use the word South Beach in the movie. I don't remember if they use it for here. But they did use South Beach in the movie. And, I was watching one or two, I don't know, like people that go visit Jaws and do these films, and they were trying to figure out what they were doing there, hanging out. Obviously, they were there having a party and they were drinking. But when you saw like a lid come up and the steam come out, and a lot of people are like, what are they doing? Were they burning trash? Were they doing that? I'm looking at that going,
clam bake.
That had to be a clam bake. Come on, people, give me a break.
They were having a party with some, seafood. That's what you do on the beach.
They were having debates over that, and I thought, come on, really?
No, it was the biggest ganja you ever saw. They're cooking. They're from New England.
Then they served coffee, ice cream.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, exactly. Go to Mad Martha's and get the Chillmark coffee ice cream when you're in Oak Bluffs, by the way.
There it is.
Excellent. Yeah, South Beach. That is South Beach, Katama Bay, right in that area there. It's actually a part of that's a part of Edgartown. There's a big triangle that you can go down. You get to right where you're looking here, and then what you do is you turn to the right. And as you turn to the right, Atlantic Drive goes out quite, just follows the coastline there, and then you make another right, and you'll go up by this little old airport that happens to be there. It's now privately run airports, and there's a little diner restaurant that's right there. You can actually sit and watch the planes take off. I believe it was probably military used, I would assume, at one time. But neat little airport you can visit there.
I wonder if, I don't know, isn't there an alpaca farm out there too as well?
There is. That's out by the big airport. Yeah,
that's by the bigger airport. Okay.
Yeah, that's out big airport, out more like interior. Yeah, you're kind of in between some of the towns there.
I knew it was somewhere out there.
This is just a little grass airstrip it looks like it was probably like used during like World War II or something.
It's just basically the road to Donna's house, so I can have that damn cake that she makes that I love with the chocolate ganache.
So, all right. So moving on here. So we're working our way down to this little area. Somebody wanna jump in here with some information? Where are we?
I would
Give
think
you a hint.
that would be Menemsha.
That is right. You are in Menemsha. Yeah. The little fishing village of Menemsha.
This is where I met our dear friend Jeffrey Kramer for the first
did you
time.
really? In Menemsha,
Yes,
really? Yeah.
in 2012, because Mr. Guru here in the middle and his wife was having lunch at this little, I don't know where it is, but it's like a little, Anyway,
Menemsha.
All of a sudden that they're eating, and all of a sudden I hear across the water, it's Mike, Juanita, Jeff, and Susan Backlany. And all of a sudden I hear Mike scream, "Hey, it's the Clarks." And I turn around and there's Jeff and them going, I was speechless. I couldn't say anything. Hey, it's the Clarks. And this is where it happened.
We actually ran into them. They had got, and I hate to say this because I had a good time at the event, but the second Jaws Fest was so horribly planned and so horribly run. But Jeff and Susan were out in the middle of nowhere, like at a t-shirt shop, signing autographs. And their ride was supposed to have come like a half hour sooner. And they finally got a hold of the lady in charge. And she was like, "Oh, we don't have anybody to come get you." And I said, "Well, I'll, twist my arm. Twist my arm. So we'll take it." So we went there and we had lunch, and he told stories, and the Clarks came by, and yeah.
But what's so special about the little place where you ate at, Mike? That's what we're going to get at.
Because it was right next to, and still right next to, the still vacant lot 50 years later, where Quint's shack. Say that 5 times real fast. Quint's shack stood. Yeah.
And that's what you're looking at right there. And when you walk up there at the windows, right where the menus are, they also have pictures from when that was. In fact, let me flood the stage here with this. So there are, if you look, here's what Mike's talking about right here. That's Quint's shack right there on the left side there. And then, that's where it stood. And the little sandwich shop or whatever sits right next to that building. Yep. It's an aerial view of the creek arm, I guess what you would call it, of Menemsha. Yeah. Quint's place would be all the way at that.
And you can get over there and kind of lean over and look. And if you want to hold up a pair of shark jaws and just the exact same shot out the window.
Yeah.
The boat taking off.
Yeah. If you look at that very bottom picture where the anchor's sitting in the grass, I took that with that in mind. I wanted to see that view of the orca leaving Menemsha. And there you go. Looking right at that little channel there. Yeah. Very cool stuff.
Did that give you chills when you first saw it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. When you first see it, every time.
Well, that's true too. But I mean, like for the first time when I stood there and went, I can't believe this is where it was at.
Oh yeah.
Walk around, and there's a fish market on there somewhere in there.
There's 2 of them. Yeah,
there's somebody that has like it's like a real life great white jaw, and to see that it's surreal. It's very, very surreal.
Yeah, that's Larson's. I believe that's
Larson.
Charlie down at Larson's. Well, he was out. If I'm not mistaken, Donna took me down there and I got a shirt. It's a great shirt. I think it says Orca Shark Fishing Tours in the back, and it says in the back, we're not talking about pleasure boat or day sailing. We're talking about sharking. He was out on a boat, and I think they were getting billfish or sailfish or something like that. They were bringing them in, and a great white shark kept coming in and eating them. and so he got tired of it and harpooned that sucker. And it was something like 16 feet long. I mean, it was. You're talking like the real Quinn action here. And here's a picture. He has a picture of it there. You know, you see it. I'll show it to you. Yeah, very nice gentleman.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so surreal.
Question: how long is the drive from Edgartown to Menemsha? It depends on what time of year you're there and how much traffic there is.
Yeah.
It's really what it boils down to. God, I don't know. I want to say when I'm there in June, it's probably a half-hour drive.
So go in January. It's 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
In July, I get there quicker on my bicycle than I get there in the car.
The traffic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure August is no different. Yeah, and it's just single lane roads and very little parking. Just about any place you go on the island, it's one of the big things that can be a bit of an obstacle. So, yeah. Someone trying to.
I want to say this is my favorite. This is my favorite part of the island to go to and reflect.
It is really cool, and you're kind of off the beaten path a little bit.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah.
You're not, in Edgartown or Oak Bluffs.
Yeah.
You really are. And when I go to do bike rides, there's a group that go out real early in the morning, and there's even a bicycle ferry there. It's a little pontoon boat, and you pay $5, and they take you across to the other side so you can finish the ride up along the island. Yeah, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Stanley Poole, that's who we're talking about. Yes.
Yep.
I'm Charlie. Stanley Poole. That's the man from the. Yeah.
Any relation to Jenny Poole?
Jenny Poole, yeah, right.
I'm assuming that's Donna.
It is Donna.
It's got to be Donna. Yeah. All right. Well, what do we got after Menemsha? We are going to. This area goes by, I guess, two names: Aquina and Gayhead. And I had to pull this shot in here because you can pretty much see the mayor talking with the lighthouse in the background in this scene right here.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool. And if I spin this around here a little bit, you're going to notice some pretty.
I was going to say, did you get a shot of Hooper's Rock?
Yeah.
Is that it is the bigger one right there in this kind of in the center, right?
Yep. I believe so. That is the rock that Hooper sat on, and benches right where they were standing, and the sign, Amity welcomes you, or was it the regatta sign? Is that what it was?
I think it was was it both maybe?
Yeah, it might have been like
the regatta. 50th annual
regatta.
Yeah. That stood right there. They erected it. They shot the scene and took it down that day, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite lines in there.
So I was just about to pull that up. August, for Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July.
My favorite line that Richard Dreyfuss says is made in at that spot. Mr. Vaughn, all this shark does is swim and eat and make little sharks, and that's all.
It does.
Swims and eats and makes little sharks.
If not there, missing out.
Map of Stand By Me locations and a wild walking tour mapped out. I'm missing out what that's connected to. Maybe here. Question does.
This is
Chamber of Commerce have a Jaws site map. Okay.
Yeah. It was Judy.
Yeah. All right.
Judy was on a plane and was watching Jaws, so she's all over it today.
I know. She said, got on a plane, they were playing Jaws. Yeah, I chimed in. I said, well, sharks can't get you up in the air unless your name is Hoagie.
Sharks on a plane.
And John Campopiano and Jim Beller have an online Jaws location sites. You can also
do they
go to and
get on there and
take you where you want to go.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, Quina is the town of Gayhead. Oh, Gayhead are the cliffs. Okay, good. Good to know. I did not know that. I thought maybe they were synonymous. One was Native American name, one was English name. So that's good to know. All right. Very
The
cool.
cliffs
Yeah,
are
and
beautiful.
you know what? Probably one of my favorite places, and it's a shame that
Yeah.
I don't have something of the cliffs here. I might in a slide. If you've never been to the cliffs, oh my gosh! If you've never walked them, it's impressive. I don't have a picture of them here, but they will blow your mind. They are literally clay cliffs of every color, from red to white to black to yellow. Yeah, even at times you get a little mix with some green and stuff like that. Absolutely gorgeous. Go check it out. Walk the cliffs. But there is a nude beach there. I will tell you. I
I'm
found
sorry,
that
what?
out. There is a nude beach there, and I will tell you I found that out because I was walking up it, and for the second time. Wait a second, don't laugh yet. It's gonna get better. You know, with me, it's gonna get better. With my in-laws and and my teenage son and one of his best friends. Go, hey guys, what do you think of the cliffs? It was a
If
beautiful
that
day.
is not, if that
It
is
was
not a
warm.
Clark Griswold thing
It
to have
really
happened.
was. And I
Well,
knew
Russ
that they were.
was there.
I
And
knew
that,
that there was one there.
that was the
And
day, and that was the day I met Nate. He's looking down. Yeah, yeah.
uh, little game of spot the willy there with the boys, and the in-laws. Yeah, it was good.
That was the day I met Nate.
Oh man. Oh,
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
oh, oh. I'm telling you, it was one of my finer moments. I'll say that. Okay, back over here. Let me get the comment down. Sorry, guys, I'm jumping around a couple screens here at one time. All right, sorry for the delay. I've got one more virtual spot for us to stop at, guys. I think
Oh,
that's
gracious.
all I have for virtual. And this one I forgot. And at the last minute, I was like, oh, how did I go through Edgartown and not bring up this guy right here?
I was going to say, yeah.
This is the Edgartown / Amity Town Hall.
Amity Town Hall.
Very distinctive. Can't miss it. I think at one time it was a couple things. It was a movie theater at one time. It was something else. And you can kind of see stairs going up into the doors and stuff like that. So, yeah.
You walk down the hall, bump your head, go into the council room. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Uh-oh. The fun police are up, Janie. Having too much fun.
it's not Donna. I know who it is. That's Judy.
You need to reel it in a little bit. Just saying.
That's what this is all about. Oh my gosh.
And
It's
Ignace
Judy.
kind of has it. The nude beach has been there since 1977. All right, so it's been there for quite a while. Yeah.
So, Mike, did I ever tell you when John and I went and got our marriage license? I mean, I know I always bring him up because he is a big part of my life and with the Jaws community. But when we went to get our license, we had to get it 3 days before we were to ever be married. Okay. You know, like a waiting period. But the room where we had to go to the clerk apparently was the room where they filmed the chalkboard scene.
Oh, nice.
So, and because the clerk that was there, she told me about it. She goes, "Oh yeah, this is where they filmed it at, where he goes with the nails on the board." And I kind of went, "Okay, it was meant to be. It was
That's
just
meant to be.
It was meant to be."
And if you go walk back the hallway to the big room, the table is still there where the selectmen sit that they used in the movie. It's facing. I want to say it's on a different wall. And the clock on the wall, it's the same clock that was in that room too.
Same thing.
Yeah. Those scenes real closely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Things are rearranged. You can tell the side that the windows are on, but it's all there. And again, you talk about geeking out. Yeah. You can go to these places, guys. I'm telling you, you're going.
You can.
Holy crap! You know, I'm in the scene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Very cool.
Absolutely.
Well, that is the last stop for our virtual tour. So I'm going to take that guy down.
Memories.
Did you have a shot at Donna's house?
You're not.
Go to Donna's house.
Kind of thought maybe it wasn't the best idea. Probably didn't, didn't want that publicity. So there were a few things that perhaps I wanted to show the visuals of that maybe we didn't see, and obviously we didn't see Quinn Shack because it's not there anymore. And right here in Edgartown, obviously, and the town hall in the middle. On the left is the old sculpting gallery, which was for years a boathouse, and now is an art gallery. And that is what Quinn Shack was built after. I mean, when you look at it, it's exact. You can see it. That's where they got the design for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then on the right, you have one of the pictures I took of the Edgartown lighthouse. And if you look at the picture at the bottom, there you can see it in that scene where Quinn's boat is passing along by, which is, by the way, great place to go down. Is with Harborview Motel. You can walk all along the street there, and it will take you right past where the not the dock, whatever you want to call it, where the tiger shark was hung. You walk right past there. You'll see there's a big blue armature for hoists, I guess, for getting things in and out. And Edgartown Harbor Master building is there, and that's where that was seen. You just keep on walking, and you get to the Harborview. You'll see a big, beautiful Grand Motel, and there's trails take you right down through the sand, walk you right up. And what's really neat is where the lighthouse sits. There's bricks in the base of it, and those bricks were donated. I want to say they were donated for children that had required hospitalization or maybe to the children's hospital of some sort. But it was really neat.
Oh, okay.
Really neat. Yeah, something to that extent. It's one of the things you see on the island is such a strong sense of community and helping each other out with everything.
That's very true. Yeah. That's very true.
A couple of people chiming in here. Went to the town hall. The meeting room looked different, but I think we saw the chief's office. Office was in a different building.
Yeah, office is down the street, and you can tell because it was a photo gallery last time we were there, but you could go in and you could look out the window and see the church across the street, and then it's also the same room. They use the same room where they do the Chrissy's autopsy. That's why that's why the window's covered, because you can't say, "Oh, there's that same church across the street." Yeah.
Someone's chiming in. Can you see the house that resembles Amityville House from that area? From Edgartown, no. That's in Oak Bluffs on the way. If you're going down that Seaview Avenue, you go down before you get to the Jaws Bridge. Parts of that beach, that whole stretch, are public. And if you're walking north towards Oak Bluffs, you'll eventually get to a point where it becomes private. There's a whole lagoon area in there that is all private. And if you stand at the edge of that where the private is and you look, you'll see old pylons in the water, and you look up on the hill. I have pictures of it, and you can see that where they shot the scene where the breakaway dock was, where that Amityville looking house is. And there's also one, I think, in Edgartown. Down at the harbor too, where they're showing the shark, where you can see the Amityville style windows in the house there. Yeah.
And if you go to Amityville, the house has changed. We tried.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't have the same look. And they thought they were being cute, so they changed the address. It used to be like 706, now it's like 708, so that people wouldn't figure out where it was. But we found it right before Halloween, like in 2011. Mike Gencarelli and his Patty and I. Yeah.
Very interesting.
The only house on the block that wasn't decorated for Halloween.
Couldn't imagine why.
Yeah, but I'd be like, oh my God, if I had that house, that would come on in. Come on in. I don't mind these flies.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
It's all part of the show, folks. Yeah. They're animatronic flies. It's okay.
Hey, Donna's chiming in and give us some facts here, which is really good. So the cobblestones at the base of the lighthouse are a memory of loved ones lost. My family has so it's all fan. For some reason I thought it was children. Okay. All right. I stand corrected. So that's what it is. Either way, awesome sense of community and dedication. Really, really cool. And then Robert chimed in and said, wait, where is he? And he's right. A lot of people question that. No, the house you see in the harbor is not the Amityville house. This is Martha's Vineyard. That's on the Long Island.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's in New York.
I think
New York.
the whoever asked the question, it's the style with the big windows that look like the eyes. Yeah, they weren't saying the Amityville house. They were saying the
That style,
similar style too. Yeah. Nope, children that passed away. You were right, Nate. Nate's facts.
I saw that. Hey, how about that? Look at that.
I know. So I'll send you the YouTube later, but that's okay. It's my buddy Dave.
Yeah, I don't believe in the Lutz story, but the failed murders were real. Oh, it's pertaining to. Yeah. And so, if you guys ever have a chance to get to the island, the only other thing, I mean, outside of some areas you can go and look at, and there's a lot of information out there, but that is two things. Number one, getting to and from the island, and the other big thing is getting around on the island. And being that it is an island, you can only get there two ways. You're either going to fly in or you're going to go in by ferry. You have a couple ferry options. You have fast ferries, but if you're going to go and if you're going to take a vehicle over, which I've done a few times, the only place you can go from is Woods Hole.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Mike, you said you've flown and you had a better experience on the ferry. Is that right?
Yeah. It's just, I mean, you save like maybe 20 minutes or maybe a half hour.
Yeah.
But that plane, it's just so, I mean, it's literally like the plane in Temple of Doom, you know, with the propellers and, you know, it's going like this the whole time. Yeah. I know when Eddie McCormick landed, he got off and got down his knees and kissed the ground. Yeah.
Well, and so you fly from Boston, don't you? Is that where you fly from?
Yes.
Okay.
But now we just rent a car in Boston or Providence, wherever we're going to go to wherever we land this year, and we drive to Woods Hole and take the ferry across.
Yeah.
Someone's chiming in. Yeah, the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute. So the one you hear about in the movie Jaws. In fact, when they're there in Oak Bluff, there's actually a sign that says, you know, Woods Hole Oceanographic.
Woods Hole, yes.
The Woods Hole, the ferry. Yeah, that's kind of what they're talking about there with Hooper, more or less fictionalizing it. That's where he's from. And even the boat that he said he was going to be on, the Aurora, is an actual Swedish boat that they used to go out. And I don't know if they did with shark, but they would go out and, you know, do ocean excursions. You can actually go, I believe, pay to go on it now. Yeah.
It's Carl doing his research.
Yeah. All right. Someone's asking about Frank Silva's shack, that little one in Edgartown. I don't know much outside of that, other than I would assume it was a boat shack or a harbor master, the original harbor master shed there. You guys know anything about that?
I've never seen it.
I guess she's asking if it's still there. Like, does it really exist?
I've never seen it, so I wonder if
I don't think I have either,
or if it was just built for the
film. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone's asking, is that real? I don't know that it is or know that. I couldn't say yes or no. There is one or two things that you do see when you walk around that are kind of unmistakable. And the one is the scene where Hooper's walking around talking to Brody when he first meets him, and he's talking about, you know, not how many guys you're going to put aboard that boat. Talking about, you know, the guy in the sailboat that they're arguing who's going to get out first. So where he's standing and walking there was all like kind of rock piled up. It's still there to this day, and you can see they tried to blacktop over top part of it at one time, and it's kind of broken and slowly kind of falling away. But that original stonework is still there, so you can actually walk up, and it's pretty easy to make out there. Yeah. Someone's saying, I believe that the shack is now in Oak Bluffs. Okay, so maybe it was a real one. Maybe it does exist.
Moved it.
Yeah. We got here. Frank Silva, isn't that Bob in
Twin Judy says, geez, I want to go with you guys next time. Road trip.
Yeah. I don't know the gentleman's name that played Frank Silva, but he was an actor.
I don't either. No.
I do know that. Yeah, I do know that. I'm not sure what his name was. Maybe someone will.
Maybe it was Frank Silva.
Could have been Poole for all I know. Who knows? Yeah. Right. Yeah. I really don't know that answer. Yeah. What else we got here? As far as moving around on the island, I apologize. I did want to throw one more thing in about the ferries. If you guys go, if you decide to go, I will tell you this: if you're gonna go and take a vehicle, you have to get your ferry tickets as
Correct.
early as humanly possible. I made a mistake the first time we went. I booked a place to stay in Oak Bluffs, and when I called up to book it, I talked to the lady, and she said, "Now this one would have been right around now. I want to say like around March or April." She said, "You have a ferry ticket?" And I said, "No." She said, "You need to get off the phone with me and call Steamship Authority and get a ferry ticket now."
Hmm.
Because they book up. They start selling tickets around June 19th. And I will
Hmm.
tell you that if you're going to do that, what I do, not saying it's the right thing to do, I am sitting there June 19th at 5 o'clock in the morning with my credit card and my laptop, and I am queued to like number 240 in line
Yeah.
to try and get ferry tickets because you have to get your tickets to match up to when you're going to be there, go there, and leave. Because if
Correct.
not, at best you get put on a standby list. And it's hard to say
Yeah.
how long you're going to be on a standby list. Now, if you're going on as a walk on, it's a little bit of a different story. I don't know later in the season if that gets a little hectic too. But if you go as a walk on, I want to say it's like $10 either way. You can just walk on. I think same
Yeah,
as a bicycle too.
back and
Taking a
forth.
bike. Yeah. And you can take fast ferries and high lines from a couple places like P Town. My gosh, I think you can take it out of
Providence, I
Hyannis.
think Providence does. Yeah.
Yeah, Providence, New York. I think somewhere in
Hmm.
Connecticut, maybe. Yeah. So you can get a lot of those, but I know some of those can be a couple hour trip on a boat. So if you're not good on a boat, might be better driving up the Cape. So
Oh, she answered it. There she is. So Donna says that Frank's shack is at the end of the Edgartown Marine Dock.
Ah, thank you.
Oh, hello.
okay,
There you go, Judy. There you go.
there's the answer. All
All
There's
right.
right.
your answer. God, this is why I call her the fairy Jaws mother. This is why.
She knows it
Yeah.
all.
She's
Hey,
God,
she's the remote host tonight. I knew she'd help us out with facts tonight. Thank you
absolutely.
very much, Donna. Very appreciative of your knowledge. Yeah. I can only fake it for so long here. There
Fake
you
it
go.
till you make it.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. The last thing I would at least like to touch on, and I apologize if I am kind of hogging up space and air here, but the last thing I did want to kind of touch on that is getting around on the island.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting around on an island can be very tough. Not just so much navigating from one place to another, because it can be a lot of traffic. But the big thing is trying to find parking spaces. If you're trying
Correct.
to go to any of the big towns, especially, Edgartown, Oak Bluffs, in the Vineyard Haven, parking is very much a commodity. It's really rough, and there's even areas where there is extra parking. You're going to find that there is parking for residents only
Correct.
because of such an influx of people in the summer. Um, I've made trips all the way across the island to go see the cliffs and things, and had to turn around and go back because we couldn't find a parking spot. And what we found is we often let the vehicle sit and use a lot of the public transportation. So if you guys happen to go there, I have to put a plug in for the VTA, which is the Vineyard Transportation Line. They run an awesome system, and they have these little purple signs that you see like up there in the corner there, pasted all over the sign. And in the summertime, those guys, most places run buses like every 15 minutes, maybe every 30 minutes. Now, when you get down to the southernmost or southwestern end of the island, what they refer to as Up Island, the buses they don't run quite as quick. The intervals are a little bit longer, but it is a great way to get around. You can buy a day pass, you can pay per, or you can buy a week long pass, and it is really a carefree way to get around the island. They do a very nice job. They have bike racks on the front. There's a luggage rack inside,
Yeah.
so it is very very great efficient way to get around. So
We found out. I mean, it's great for any. We usually would get the week pass. We
that's what
would
we
just
did.
that's it was just easier. We didn't the first couple of times we didn't have a vehicle, but when the last trip when we had the kids, we decided to do the ferry, and it
Hmm.
worked out really great because I took the girls up to the top, and then my mom and John stayed in the car below. But it was a smooth ride back and forth with the car and everything, but the bus really will take you where you really need to go. I mean, where we stayed at in Oaks Bluff, the bus stop was right down the street from the house that we rented. So there's always some type of a transportation there, including with the buses and taxis. But if you really want to do it, the inexpensive way, get a week pass. You can get onto that bus until like 12 or 1 in the morning, I think. But anyway, it will take you where you need to go. Yeah, it will take you where you need to go.
Yeah. It is really a good way to go, and there are taxis, more or less vans, not necessarily not New York taxis or yellow cabs. There, and there's also bus tours. But I have to put a plug in if you're interested in a very good tour. Donna, our own Donna, who is on tonight, does absolutely wonderful tours and probably gives you a lot more information and gives you a lot more time at some of the places that you are not going to see on a big bus tour, Jaws tour of Martha's Vineyard. So just kind of a heads up there for you guys.
Yeah, she knows the ins and outs for sure. Absolutely.
She really does. And she takes you to some places that you're completely not aware of. Did not know where they were or how to get there. Yeah. Really knows.
Now we're saying that it may not be illegal. It might be. No, I'm kidding. No, she doesn't do that. No, she doesn't.
She only asked me to cut 2 fence links. One place. That was about it.
One time, she's like, "Go ahead, sneak over there. It'll be okay." No, she didn't. I'm kidding.
Kidding. She does not do any of that. She does do a wonderful job.
Yes.
And not just with Jaws, just general history of the island. She's amazing as well. Really is. Yeah.
John asked one time, he says, "How can I get a job at the transit authority?" She said, "Apply."
Easiest way to do it.
Easiest way to do it.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, we are well beyond our typical time here, and we were kind of hoping for maybe someone to pop on. So I will pull up the last thing that we were going to hit on. And one of you guys want to jump in here because I feel like I've exhausted myself here.
Oh, you're fine.
I've been yapping all night.
I think Mike ins and outs of it.
Lottery fever in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There are 8 million of these tickets out there. They've already sold almost 2 million. They've already had their first $1 million winner, and they're getting ready. If you don't win, you can mail your ticket in, and they have a second chance drawing for a Jaws 50th anniversary event. Now, I was confused at first because the chamber had no idea about an event, and I was like, "That's the lottery seems to know about it." This is an event; it'll be held in July of 2025 that the lottery is paying for and sponsoring. They're sending five winners. I think it's 5 people or 10 people, 5 winners to Edgartown in July, and you got a hotel room and all your food and all that stuff's taken care of. But I was talking to the gentleman who will be joining us in a couple of weeks. He's going on vacation. That they're probably going to make a million zillion dollars because no one's going to scratch. Jaws fans, they're not going to scratch these things off. Unless I hear, oh, we're still waiting for someone. There's $1 million prize left out there. I'm not scratching my ticket. I'm just, and I'm certainly not mailing it in for the second prize drawing. So, he said they were just blown away by the response. And I said, well, you shouldn't be, but
yeah, I don't know if I want to scratch mine.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait till it's like 1 million. If it's 1 million left.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. Okay, so this is what I'll follow your lead because you know what's going on, and I just don't want to ruin it because this is such history right here.
Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful.
Exactly, and so somebody was telling me, what you need to do that because then if you get $1 million, we're going to the Vineyard and we're going on vacation. I'm like, but this isn't no.
Yeah.
This is no. So I don't know. I'm confused. I'm confused.
It's pristine. Pristine, as they say.
It is very pristine. And my good buddy Nate over there and his lovely wife Jen got us some tickets, and we're very appreciative of that. I'm very appreciative of it. So thank you so much. This made my day.
Absolutely.
This made my day. So
Mike, did yours show up today?
No, but my friend Ben, who also lives in Massachusetts, picked me up one. I've got the one he sent me. So
Good. Well, if they're not there today, probably tomorrow. I sent them both out at the same time. It seems to be about the same amount of time to get to you guys. So it is coming, I promise. If not, we can extort Janie.
Yeah.
What? You're gonna
Start
what?
coming. You hold her down, and I'll scratch her ticket off. We'll see if we won anything. Mike.
If I were to get $1 million, I mean, literally, that would go ahead and just like my trip to the Vineyard in 2025. If they do anything, it's paid for. We're going. That's it.
We're going
and
anyway.
The rest of it, I don't know. I'll probably blow on some stupid crap at Ulta or something. I don't know.
If I gotta sell stuff, we're going. So
there it is. Yep.
Yeah, you only need one kidney, right?
I was gonna say my left one is okay. I can live with the right one. So yeah.
Body parts, right? Someone's saying I scratch them.
It's funny. Sunday night, Juanita's on Facebook, and she goes, "Oh wow!" And Eddie McCormick over in England, great Jaws fan. His collection dwarfs mine by like the power of 10. But he had posted, after much consideration, I'm going to sell a lot of my Jaws stuff. And my wife's
really?
like, you should do that. You should get rid of that. I'm like, well, no, but then later on in the evening, I looked at my watch and I said, honey, it's after midnight in England. She goes, yeah. I said, April Fool's. And she's like, oh, yeah. almost had me.
You thought there was a chance.
I currently have 9. Gonna give one to Jeff Kramer if I meet him.
There you go.
It's got to be Judy. Yeah. Someone and says $125. I haven't scratched off any yet. My wife did. We had the tickets about 10 minutes. We were sitting in Falmouth eating lunch, and she scratched her right off. I said, "Well, I better put the rest away."
Did you win?
We're gonna be getting you. No, it didn't win anything. People would be getting used tickets if I didn't put them babies away.
And then I'm going to be an idiot if I scratch it. And then it's like I'm going to feel like a moron.
I've never really played lottery much. Some of the garages I worked at, like a bunch of the guys would get together once every couple of weeks, or if there was a big one, and we'd pool in. And I remember the one time, I think we all hit like a few $100, and it came down. We each got like $50, but I've never done that much, and I wouldn't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning anything. I've never had luck with that kind of stuff. So yeah,
I don't even have a snowball, dude.
Yeah.
I got like a little snowflake about that big.
The only thing you do. Yeah, end of the drawing. That's the only thing that kind of lingers in the back of my head. I'm like, I just want to keep it. I don't want to touch it. But then, like, 30 years later, like your grandkid scratches off and goes, "It was $1 million winner."
If I get this, Nate's gonna go, "Damn it! I should have kept this one and not given it to Janie."
Or if the ones like Janie got and that you sent me, and if all of ours are the $1 million, we just never scratch.
Never scratch them off, right? Yeah.
I think what would happen? There it is. Yep.
Unbelievable. I got the advertising. Yeah. Awesome. Well,
we will in a couple weeks have Kristen Tasia on. He is the marketing guy for the Massachusetts Lottery. He was going to come on tonight, but he's actually going on vacation. But he will come on and talk about the success, and maybe by then I'll have a couple more $1 million winners. But they sold almost 2 million tickets in a week. Has it been a week?
Wow.
That's just amazing. Mm. So they made their they're giving away $5 million. They've already made 20. So
Yeah.
They're making some money. And
We-
what else before you run your news clip?
we got to put a plug in for what for Daily Jaws. What's
Daily Jaws. They have an
Daily
article.
Jaws, yep.
The shark is
Martin.
broken. The shark is broken. Is returning to America. Well, it's going to New Jersey. I don't know. That is America.
That's close enough.
But in May of 2025, for a limited run, I am not sure who the cast is. If Ian's going to be doing it, or they're going to cast, maybe Billy Van Zandt. He's from New Jersey.
This is true.
And also, speaking of Billy, they are naming the street that he and Steven grew up on.
Steven grew up on, yeah.
Van Zandt Avenue, or Van Zandt Way.
Something like that. Yeah. So they're really on the map now.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. Congratulations.
And tomorrow's Friday. Saturday, 3:00 Eastern, 2:00 Central. Jeff Kramer back. He will be on the Amity Jaws group with Nate. I believe you are. Are you?
Yeah. So we're going to be hosting through Zoom. Yeah. Well, not emceeing. I'm just going to be kind of hitting the switches. I'm just going to be honestly just sitting back on cruise control on Zoom. I believe he's got about 20, 25 people lined up. So yeah, they're going to do, I guess, like a Q&A with Jeffrey on Saturday. So if you're around for that, catch that. They'll be broadcasting that live. Or no, I'm sorry, it'll be taped and it'll be flipped over to YouTube then. So, but the link there will be a link to go out if you guys want to catch it. So
okay, yeah. So go if you want to be on it. I guess you have to go to the Amity Jaws group, contact Martin, and then and also go to our conversation with him from last week, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah, that's on YouTube.
Yes, go on YouTube. Go on Mayor Vaughn Productions. All of our shows are cataloged on there. So go on there and subscribe, or hit a show or two, leave a comment, whatever. So if you ever miss a show, I upload them every single week. So hop on there and check them out. And yeah, Jeff's episode is definitely on there. It was a great show and a lot of fun. And really enjoyed talking to him very much. So.
And SharkCon, if we're going to SharkCon, the Holiday Inn Express at the fairgrounds in Tampa will be the hotel to stay at. You can creep around the hallway and go track Richard Dreyfuss down.
Don't do
I appreciate you said that.
All of a sudden, I'm going to get a call from him and go, did Michael say that? No, Svetlana, I don't know what happened.
But there are a few more guests. I've been working with Spencer. I know the entire guest list, but I'm not going to tell you because it builds a suspense. Just know if you are a fan of Jaws or Jaws 2 or Jaws 3 or even Jaws the Revenge, it's going to be great. I will be moderating the Ultimate Jaws panel with everybody there. So come on down.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. And I was just on SharkCon website tonight, and yes, it is the Ultimate Jaws panel. I'm not going to say much because I don't know what all was posted and what was not, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be an absolute blast. And I have to say, I was pretty amazed at the cost of tickets. I really expected tickets to be quite expensive. And they're really, the weekend pass is next to nothing, and then you can upgrade to VIP for just a few bucks.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the way to go.
And
it really is a great between when I went, the panel that Mike did, the amount of vendors that are there, the amount of marine biology, booths that are there to talk about sharks and just marine life in general, especially living in Florida. You got Moat Marine, you had SeaWorld, you got about the, education about the Everglades. It really is a family oriented kind of convention, and that's what they base it on. So tickets are very reasonable to take a family for the afternoon.
And I haven't heard back from Spencer. I suggested Ira Marks.
Oh yeah.
There's lots of kids there.
Yeah, there are.
Summer, yeah.
Yeah.
July 13th and 14th.
July
2024.
13th, 14th, 2024.
Florida State Fairgrounds.
And then
If
you
you
can,
know
and then you
Hillsborough
can go
County.
get some Cuban food.
Who's in Florida? Who's in Florida right
Judy,
now?
Judy's in Florida.
Where are you at
Judy's
in
in
Florida?
Florida.
Where are you?
No,
Where
so
are
I'm
you
saying
in
Ula
Florida?
birthday weekend. So
Well, it's
Oh, that's
also
Judy.
the weekend before Juanita's birthday. I couldn't go the last 2 years because it's the same. It's the
same
same.
weekend.
It was the same weekend as her birthday.
Oh, she's in Amelia Island. Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Is there a way to get an autograph from Susan? Susan Bacalini, I think she has a website. If not, she does a lot of conventions. You could probably just type in Susan Bacalini conventions, and a lot of conventions will do. You can send in. You can send in
request.
something, or you can buy through the mail. You can say, here's the pictures she has. $30 or whatever. Whatever she charges in postage. Amelia Island, nice.
Very nice. I'm going May 4th to Martha's Vineyard Jaws tour. That's pretty cool.
Good deal.
My wife is very cool. My wife would be horribly jealous. She loves the island. Jaws fan by attrition, but she loves the island, and that's her birthday. So I'm not going to say that too loud that you're going on her birthday. Just saying.
Helen, is that the Jeff Voorhees tour? Because I've been talking to the lady that runs it, and I think she was talking in May is going to start. Is that the one that Jeff Voorhees is going to be on?
Oh, the Down Home, is it Down Home? Whatever is that name of the company? Yeah, I saw that advertised as well. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, guys, we are well beyond our time limit.
Yeah.
Wonderful night, great evening. Honestly, that flew by. It felt like it was a 20 minute trip here, but really enjoyed going around the island.
That was great. I've never seen that before. That with Google Earth. I mean,
Google Earth.
I've looked for like houses and that kind of stuff. I've never seen where you can kind of go around and stuff. Thank you for putting that together, Nate. That was awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Nate always does a great job. Always.
It was completely my thrill. I enjoyed it very much so. Yes. Yeah, very much. Great to kind of go around and revisit some memories you haven't seen in a little while. So, yeah. All right. So we're going to end tonight. I am going to pull a video up, and it's going to be the Boston news clip of, I believe, the first few days after the Jaws tickets went on sale. Just a quick little snippet. That's how we're going to end the night tonight. So I'm going to roll that out. When the clip is done, we will be done. So we will be saying our goodbyes now. And if you know someone, get your hands on one of those tickets. They are awesome. They really are. The beautiful presentation. Take them, hang them up, scratch them off, send them in, try and get a trip to the Vineyard, win $1 million, whatever. But if you can, see if you can track one down. They are pretty cool. So fins up to everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we will catch you back next Thursday. All right. Here we go. Taking us out.
Okay. Scratch it.
Jaws instant scratch ticket. Today's launch featured drawings for instant $1 million grand prizes, second chance drawings whose winners will get trips to Martha's Vineyard. So here's I just texted my friend who lives on the Vineyard. I said, hey, you go play that. Never mind. Here's a new Jaws scratch ticket. It costs $10, and it shows that classic great white shark image from the first Jaws movie poster. It's iconic. And the scratch symbols are life preservers and anchors. Next year is the 50th anniversary of the movie's release.
What would be good is if you got like a good time slot in the car ferry.